welcome to Plugged In, an innovative and interactive news talk show that's delivering kidney news in a brand new way. I'm Lori, your host, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Amro, Daniel, and Manpreet.
Hello.
Hello.
So we're back here for our second episode, and it's a great lineup we have for you today. We're going to hear the real deal from kidney patients about what life is like on dialysis, the challenges, how they cope, their inspirational stories in our Hot Topics segment.
And Daniel, we'll have some fun with a new contest for our viewers on the kidney contest segment.
You bet. We'll be announcing the big winner of our first contest, and it may be you, so you're not going to want to miss that.
Yeah.
We have some exciting new stuff in the news as we go ahead and check out the highlights from the Kidney Foundation's annual Kidney Walk. Also, we're revealing our second part of our Living Donor series, The Firefighter Story. And if you have a potassium restriction on your diet, you don't want to miss this update we have for you, so stay tuned.
So as you can see, we have a jam-packed show in store for you. But first, I have a very serious question to ask you all. What are you wearing for Halloween?
Oh.
I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah?
I'm going as Tarzan's Jane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm going to switch it up this year.
I'm still big in love with Pokemon Go, so I'm thinking of going as a big, giant Pikachu.
Wow,
Nice.
those are some fun costumes. I'll have to get back to you, Lori.
Oh, come on.
Fair enough. Okay, seriously though, Manpreet, are you at risk of developing kidney disease, or do you know what the high-risk factors are that contribute to getting kidney disease?
Lori, you bring up such an important question here. I'm South Asian, and I'm aware that if you are South Asian like myself, you have a greater risk of developing kidney disease.
I know that Asians and Africans are also at a higher risk.
That's a great point, Daniel. And also, Aboriginals are at a very high risk of developing kidney disease as well.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. On this segment of Did You Know, we'll be sharing with you some tips how you can identify if you may be at risk for having kidney disease. So stay with us. We have a great show coming up here on Plugged In. Oh, and by the way, I have the dibs on Sydney the Kidney. I'm wearing the Sydney the
I
Kidney.
told you that's what I wanted to do.
No, you're talking
That's
about
why I didn't say
Jane and
anything.
Barney
That's
and
what I
all kinds
wanted
of
to
weird
be.
things. Oh, really? When a person's kidneys are functioning at less than 15% of their normal rate, dialysis or a transplant is needed in order to keep that person alive. Dialysis essentially does the work of our kidneys by eliminating waste and unwanted water from our blood. But it does not make the kidneys well again, and it does not fully replace one's kidney function. Once you start dialysis, unless you have a transplant, you must continue on dialysis for the rest of your life. So today on Hot Topics, we're going to have a conversation about the real deal with dialysis. Hi, so we'd like to welcome to the studio Gwen from Port Moody, Audrey from Richmond, and Croft from Vancouver. Well, I'd like to kind of open it up to everyone. I'm curious about of course, the quality of life you all experience being on dialysis. Like energy level, quality of life, how does it affect you guys? For someone who doesn't understand what it is to be on dialysis.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah?
I'm at home doing it, so I'm thinking about it the day before. I'm going to set my machine up. While I'm on it for 5-6 hours maybe every second day. So it's your life. It's a full-time job. You're always either thinking about it, doing it, and taking the machine down. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
And you've got quite a big setup too in your home, right?
Oh yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about it?
Well, I'm doing hemodialysis 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I drove to the clinic.
So you're going to the hospital for the dialysis?
Yeah, we have in Richmond we have our clinic.
Oh, okay.
Hemodialysis clinic is out, not in hospital. It's outside. So that's the clinic that do only hemodialysis for patients, 7 days a week. So mine is I'm going 3 times a week to do dialysis, and just traveling there doesn't take long. But then you'll be stuck at the clinic about 5 hours. So 4 hours you're on the machine.
When I was on dialysis 3 times a week, I was on for 4.5 hours. So when I got off, your blood pressure is quite low, and I would cycle to go curling. And then I'd go curling, and I'd be calling a game, and it's quite a strategy kind of game.
Yep.
And I would tell the guys on the team, if it looks like I'm calling a really stupid shot, it's because I'm calling a really stupid shot because my brain just isn't working that well because my blood pressure is really low. So they were really understanding. you know, and
Okay,
they
so
put up
something
with
you
it.
have to watch for when you're on dialysis.
Yeah,
You've got to
and
go
the
to
other
pressure.
analogy I would give is I was president of the curling club at the time and we had a phone beside me, and if I phoned somebody and I wanted to say 6 things, I'd be really fortunate just to remember 3,
Interesting.
because your brain isn't working that sharp.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's not just the body.
so not like that anymore for you.
No, I'm
No.
blessed. And
Yeah.
obviously I'm doing a lot of work with both the BC Transplant Society and
Right.
also the Kidney Foundation,
That's good.
because I want to see other people get the same opportunity.
Audrey, I know you've been on dialysis for 16 years. Is that right?
Yes.
It's a long time.
Oh, it is a long time. Well, since 2000, I'm back on dialysis, and because my kidney failed, and I've been there ever since, waiting for the next kidney.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, during all this time, I'm being doing something else, exercise and keep actively, so I have something to kick my mind off, waiting for the kidney to show up.
Yeah, you have such a positive outlook. I wonder how you keep going when it's been so long on dialysis. So it's mostly exercise and
Yeah.
staying hooked into the community?
When
or-
you are hooked up to over-drug on board team is called O2P.
O2P. Okay.
O2P. Most of our back then is a kidney patient who want to be able to pee. Sorry.
Oh.
I know it's
Well.
a unique name. It's one of the patients who come up with the name, and we just laugh about it ever since.
Right. How do you guys work, and how do you
Well,
go on holidays?
I
and
don't work.
Things
Work?
Yeah.
No.
You don't
I
work.
do work part time,
You do.
so that's why I can only get part time work, because
Oh, really?
full time is not possible. The boss will not allow you to be able to suddenly disappear and not showing up to work
Right.
3 days a week. Impossible. But they do have patients who work.
Okay.
They do have patients who work full time, 5 days a week. I would say they really, really work hard to getting that going. But
Are they on
everyone has to do
PD?
to survive, right?
Would they be on PD, not hemo?
No, they're on hemo.
Oh.
We got a couple in our clinic that are on
Okay, you
hemo.
got to tell me about this stuff because I don't understand the difference.
PD is peritoneal
Okay.
dialysis, and that's with a bag of saline, right? And they
4 or
put it
5
in-
times a day.
Yeah, and they put it in their peritoneal cavity,
Ah,
and they do
okay.
it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
It-
get the
so
toxins out.
it-
And would that be remotely? So someone
It-
could,
yeah,
like, if
it-
you wanted to go on holidays or if
right.
you wanted to do something
It
like
gives
that?
you a chance, especially if you're on the road at all, that
Yeah.
you can actually pull over and
Do
hook,
it.
hook yourself
Oh,
up to a
yeah.
bag.
Then the new PED is that they give you the machine for you to do at home, so you do it
Well,
only
yeah,
at
that too,
nighttime.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
So-
it gives you a little more freedom.
So it gives you
Yeah.
some freedom to
Yeah.
get around, right?
Right.
If
Right.
you wanted to go visit family in somewhere or
a little bit
wanted
more
to-
opportunity to have a full-time job that way.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's good to know.
You just have to drag around a whole bunch of saline. That's all I think is the big.
There's
Right.
pros and cons
Yeah.
with either one. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I've heard this term called pain drain. Can anyone speak to that?
No.
I mean, I'm not sure. I think they mean that after dialysis,
Okay.
because your machine dragging your blood out of your body for 4 hours and clean it and put it back in your body.
Right, right.
Some patients experience that after dialysis for 4 hours, they come out with low blood pressure.
Croft, you're actually off dialysis now, right? You had
Correct.
a transplant, and so how long has it been for you?
Since 2002.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit about what your life's been like now that you're off of it versus what it was like to be on dialysis?
Well, it's not just the time commitment that when you're on dialysis, but it frees up your life to explore whatever avenue you want. But when you're on dialysis, you're committed to a machine. That one particular, like I was on for 3 days a week.
Right.
So that one particular day is really committed, because when you come off, your blood pressure is a little low. And it just changes your life quite a bit when you're freed up. And then obviously you start feeling better. Your blood's getting more oxygen and more clean blood to your brain, so you're thinking better. Everything's better.
So I understand you're back waiting for another kidney, and
Yes.
your son is
Is trying to be a donor.
he's trying to be a
Yeah.
donor.
Yeah.
That's
He's
great.
gonna be my donor.
Yeah, and what's the status of that right now? You're just
We're just waiting for the paperwork,
Waiting-
waiting for the
waiting
drug
to hear-
test.
waiting to
Yeah,
hear from
just
you
waiting.
guys.
Yeah, waiting.
great. Well, I
Yeah.
hope he's a match and that works out. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I really want to thank you all for taking the time today to be here, and I think I want to see your dragon boat races. I want to see how your team does. It'd be
Maybe we'll
great.
get you seated in one of the
Really?
boats.
Oh gosh, I
Sure.
don't know if I could do it.
You can come along. You can come along.
Did you know that in the early stages of kidney disease, there are often no warning signs? In some cases, the problem may go undetected until the kidneys are seriously damaged. Early detection may help prevent or delay the need for life-saving dialysis treatments or organ transplantation. You're at a high risk if you meet one of the categories of having diabetes, having high blood pressure, having cardiovascular disease, are over the age of 55, have a family history of kidney disease, or an ethnic background of Asian, South Asian, African, or Aboriginal. So if you meet one of these categories, please contact your doctor and request the EGFR test. And Naina.
The Kidney Walk is the single largest volunteer-driven event for the Kidney Foundation Canada, BC, and Yukon branch. It's an event that has started small and taken off in a way that no one expected. Kidney BCY TV will take us there on location to capture this wonderful celebration for this year's Kidney Walk.
I am here at Athletes Village this morning in downtown Vancouver, where the Kidney Foundation's annual Kidney Walk is about to kick off. This is one of 17 walks happening around BC and the Yukon this morning, where kidney volunteers, supporters, participants have all come together to help those living with kidney disease. For a kidney patient, their best hope for the future is most often a kidney transplant. The issue is that the demand for kidney transplants far outweighs the supply. And the sad reality is, for many kidney patients, they will die before they get that much needed transplant. This is why the Kidney Walk has placed a special focus on organ donation and kidney transplantation. Each walk not only raises critical funds to help kidney patients and their families, but also helps raise the awareness about the importance of organ donation. And they seem to have a little fun doing it at the same time.
This is actually my first walk. I've been on dialysis for 3 years, so I thought it was time to come out and support. And also I feel pretty good this year, so that's why I'm here.
I have two sons who've had transplants, one 10 years ago and one last year where I was the donor. So we've got a long family history with the foundation, and so we're here to encourage other people to donate kidneys, both living and cadavers. So I will say, for people who haven't seen the benefit of a transplant, it's just remarkable. And as a donor, it's easily done. I was back at work in 3 weeks. It was great. So it's a good experience, both emotionally as well as physically.
I'm here today because my husband was on dialysis for 4.5 years, and a year ago he got a transplant, and he's doing so great. And when I went to see if I could donate for a kidney, I found out I also had kidney disease, and so my function is also at 30%. I may eventually need dialysis and transplant, but at the moment I'm doing okay. But it's for anybody who has kidney disease. That's why I'm here.
I was born with kidney disease, and I'm doing this for all the patients at hemodialysis at St. Paul's Hospital. I'm here with my family over here. So yeah, I have a big support.
This is Deborah Tucker reporting for Kidney BCY TV.
Early this year, Health Canada proposed to enable a potassium-based additive to meat products. Potassium acetate and potassium diacetate could be used as a preservative for both meat and poultry items. This is important for kidney patients because potassium may not be registered on the nutritional facts table. For those looking to limit their potassium, they should carefully read the ingredients listings on both meat and poultry products and avoid any products with potassium acetate, potassium diacetate, and potassium lactate. For more information, go and visit kidney.ca. This next story is a continuation of our ongoing series of living donors. In our last episode of Plugged In, we introduced you to a remarkable man, Lieutenant Charles Mulder, just days before he was about to donate his kidney to his retired boss. Kidney BCY TV's Deanna sits down with the kidney recipient, former Fire Assistant Chief Wayne O'Dean, to discuss with him what a kidney transplant will mean to him.
Welcome, Wayne. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your association with kidney disease?
I've had kidney disease for almost 36 years now, so it's been a slow progression for me, so it's something I've lived with pretty well, actually all of my adult life. So it's affected me actually quite a lot since I was about 23 years old. I'm 59 now. I've been retired for 2 years from Vancouver Fire and Rescue Services, where I was an assistant chief.
In the end, it was Lieutenant Mulder who became your donor match. Can you go back and tell me about your relationship with Charles Mulder and how he came to be your live kidney donor?
But I was at the time an assistant chief in charge of community services, which included public education and a few other areas. So we were hiring temporarily quite a few firefighters for special projects. Charles applied for one of those positions. So one day I think we were talking about general health issues, and I mentioned the fact that I had kidney disease. And Charles, without actually batting an eye, without even taking a second to think about his response, said he'd go get tested. I didn't have to ask. People stepped forward, and now, as you say, Charles is going to be providing his kidney to me on Monday.
We did it over in our lunchroom. We were just talking, and I didn't know Wayne's kidney failure was that far. And I just said, well, Wayne, if we're a match, I'll give you up a kidney. And I think he was shocked. I know he was shocked. Took a couple days, and we started discussing it, and here we are down where we are right now.
Eventually, the day did come when you found out you and Charles were approved and the transplant would happen. How did you hear the news?
My nephrologist had actually contacted me and said that either I would get a kidney transplant very soon, or I would need to go on dialysis. So he set me up for an appointment at VGH to do the vein mapping in my arm to create the fistula. So we were sitting in the waiting room filling out the consent forms and so on. When I went back in to hand those consent forms, the technician said, "Oh, we just got a call from Annie at the kidney clinic saying that your Charles had been approved." And shortly after, we were driving home, and I received a call from Charles, and he asked if we had heard. And I said yes, and he says, "Looks like no backing out now."
After the transplant, is there something you can't wait to do or eat that you haven't been able to in a very long time?
2 years ago, we remodeled part of our house, and I had a beautiful wine cellar built and stocked it with wine, and actually I haven't had a single drop of wine out of that wine cellar in that period of time. So I'm hoping that after the transplant that I'll be able to have some wine and beer once in a while and actually be able to enjoy it.
A bit of hope for those who suffer from a hereditary kidney disease. Alport syndrome has no cure. It can affect hearing loss and vision abnormalities, and in many cases, kidney failure. The Alport Syndrome Foundation Peterson family, along with the Kidney Foundation of Canada Research Funding Program, recently announced that the joint funding has been awarded to 2 new research projects to find new drugs to help delay the onset of this disease while a cure is being looked for. This is welcome news for families, as the diagnosis can be devastating to members of different generations for one family. For more information, visit kidney.ca. And that's it. My name is Amro Mazoub, and thank you for staying in the news. Make sure to tune in next time and be plugged in.
Hi, I'm Manpreet, and welcome back to Meet Our Peeps. This week, I'm so pleased to introduce you to 5 incredible volunteers from across British Columbia and the Yukon. These volunteers represent a cross-section of the 7,000 plus volunteers who are the heart and soul of the Kidney Foundation. It's their passion, drive, and commitment that enables us to accomplish the mission of the Kidney Foundation, which is to improve the lives of persons living with kidney disease in British Columbia and in the Yukon. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce Bonnie Leclerc, Carmen Komish, Ken Merkley, Edna Humphreys, and Kathy Wong.
Okay. My name is Bonnie Leclerc. I live in Quesnel, and I am the Northern Regional Director.
My name is Carmen Komish. I'm from Whitehorse, Yukon. I'm involved with the Kidney Foundation because my son has been on dialysis and been an end-stage kidney patient for, at least 25 years.
I'm Ken Merkley, and I'm from Victoria.
My name is Edna Humphreys. I'm from Kamloops, BC. My involvement with the Kidney Foundation, I started out as a volunteer because my son needed a kidney, and then they were looking for regional directors for the foundation, and my name was put forward.
My name is Kathy Wong, and I'm from Vancouver. And actually, I immigrated to Canada for about 28 years now.
Quesnel is an awesome community because it's a slower pace for us, and you can live in the city but have the nature right at your back door.
Well, I think the best thing is, since I've lived in the Yukon for about 50 years, first in Watson Lake, then in Whitehorse, is that I know so many people. So it's always have a familiar face to see when I go downtown or anywhere, and it really helps when I'm looking for donations.
Best thing overall, living in Victoria, is the climate. You can't live in a nicer place in Canada.
I would say all the amenities we have, like for sports and everything. I mean, we're a great little city.
It's really good. Nice weather and lots of sunshine, and the air quality is really, really good. Yeah.
Kidney disease, I've had it since I was 13 and been living with it now for 33 years.
Well, as I said, my son's been on dialysis for a long time, and I'm his mom and his kidney provider care, and always a fine balancing act. I'm the one that gets him to his appointments and travels with him, so it affects me a lot.
Kidney disease doesn't affect me very much anymore. I'm a 36-year kidney patient, 34 of which have been with transplants, but they've worked so well that I don't have any effect from being a kidney patient anymore. Other than the 2 years on dialysis, it's been a wonderful life with transplants.
At the first couple of years, it affected quite a bit. And I nearly lost my mind at that time, you know. I could not do anything when I knew that I was having a kidney disease. So, but later on, I feel like a normal person, except that, you know, for dialysis every day. And I've been going through for about 8 years of peritoneal dialysis. And after 8 years, I was lucky enough to get a new kidney. So just past last month, end of last month, my baby had 2 years of age now, my new baby, yeah. Yeah.
I think people really need to be aware that it can hit anybody at any time. Kidney disease is, you know, can, like for myself, it struck at age of 13, and others I've seen be hit with it in their 70s.
Well, I think the big thing is that there's a lot of people that are affected and don't even know about it. It doesn't have the symptoms so blatantly aware, you know, that they're aware of it maybe until they are in end stage. So I think a screening program is a great idea to help those people.
The main thing that I would like people to know is to be aware that we need organ donors, and that we should be doing everything that we can to increase the number of donors that we have across the country.
I think kind of the most concerning question I get asked most frequently is about the diet. People really need to understand it's specific to them and their blood work and what's happening with them.
Once you have, you know, suffer with the kidney disease, you need to try to adjust yourself to accept it. And then you feel just like a normal person. And of course you have to work really hard at the first few years. And you don't afraid to talk to people that you have kidney disease. Don't hide it up, but speak openly to your friends and your family. Then you feel a little bit relieved with that. Yeah.
What an amazing group. Thank you, Bonnie, Carmen, Ken, Edna, and Kathy for sharing your personal stories, thoughts, and hopes for the future with us. Tune in next time to meet more of our incredible volunteers here on Meet Our Peeps. We'll see you soon. Stay plugged in.
Canadians proudly celebrated athletes recently at the 2016 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Rio. We watched them bring home 22 Olympic medals. Amazing. But these are not the only competitive games that Canadians can be proud of. Did you know that people who've had an organ transplant can also compete in their own Olympic-style games? So since 2000, the Canadian Transplant Games have provided a forum for transplant recipients from across the country to come together and enjoy competition and fun while celebrating their second chance at life. And on a world-class competitive level, qualifying transplant recipients can represent Canada at the World Transplant Games, where they compete against athletes from over 69 countries from around the world. I'm delighted to have joining me in the studio today 2 guests who've competed both at the Canadian and the World Transplant Games. So first is Katrina McAndrew. She's received her kidney transplant in 2013, and she wasted no time in training and qualifying to compete at the 2015 World Transplant Games in Argentina. She's a 5-time medalist and was part of the 17-member Canadian team who brought home a total of 38 medals. Also, we have in the studio Stuart Lee, a 3-time Canadian Transplant Game competitor in 2012, 2014, and 2016 games. He brought home a combined total of 6 medals, 1 silver and 5 bronze. Stu received his kidney transplant in 2010. So welcome, and so great to meet both of you. What an inspiration. I love that you're wearing your bling today, too. Could you tell me what motivated you to compete?
I suppose once you've had your transplant and some of the medication they give you, it can have sort of side effects on your health, and you're kind of encouraged, by the transplant department to actually go out and do some physical activity. I guess I was always quite sporty even before I got ill, so it wasn't, hard.
Was it new for you? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, and I ended up joining a dragon boat team, which is sort of aimed for renal transplant recipients or dialysis people. So I kind of got involved in the sport through that way.
Wonderful. And you dragon boated together, yes?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, so tell me a little bit about what inspired you.
It started out with just a few buddies of ours. We heard about the transplant games, and at the time, 2012, it was in Calgary. So we said, hey, let's give it a shot and try it. And
Cool.
so we all planned a road trip.
So what type of activities did you both compete in?
Well, in the world, they sort of classify it by sort of stress in terms of like the type of activities. So you can have low stress and medium stress and like high stress. So low stress might be bowling or I don't know, some of the ball throw or something. And then you've got high stress to like the road race or cycling or I don't know, track events and things like that.
Okay, which is what you do, right?
I did, yeah. I did track events and then the road race and a bit of bowling as well.
What does it mean to you to be a medal winner?
I suppose it proves that organ donation works. You can be on. I mean, for me, I was on dialysis, and after the transplant, it does make a difference. You can go out and you can compete and in sports. And there's a lot of, especially in the world, there's a lot of people who are very competitive. They've obviously been training and they've been training hard, and they're all transplant recipients and really well. And again, it's doing something for your donor. We're all there because someone donated an organ, so
What would you say to someone who's thinking of maybe competing at the Canadian Transplant Games or the World Transplant Games? Maybe they're nervous about it or think they can't do it, or what would you say to that person?
I would say for the Canadian Games, just go ahead and choose your sport and do it. But with the Worlds, it's more competitive, and you definitely need more training.
Well, thank you so much for joining me in the studio here today and being such an inspiration to our viewers. I also understand you can find more information on a few websites, which will probably be listed there. You said the World Transplant Games has a website, and then the Organ Donation Works, is that one as well?
Yes.
Is that correct? And then the Canadian Transplant website as well. If people want to compete, they can get more info there, right?
Yeah. Well, it'll give them a list of activities as well, so
great.
They can see kind of what's out there and what they can do.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to be checking that out right after we're done in the studio. So thank you again for coming. I appreciate it.
1800.
1801.
1802.
1803.
1804.
1805.
Oh, hey! Welcome back to Kidney Contest, your favorite segment on Plugged In. Don't worry, we won't tell the other co-hosts. Now, we've got a great contest lined up for you all.
Wait. First, we have to announce the lucky winner of the last contest question, which was, of course,
Count the kidney beans! Now, Manpreet, who sent in the closest guess as to how many kidney beans are in this jug without going over?
well, the actual count was 2,425. And the winning guess was 2,314, which was sent in from James Vosberg of North Vancouver. Congratulations, James.
Yes, congratulations. And now it's your turn to win.
So, the contest question for today is, how many children has the BC and Yukon branch sent to the Kidney Kids Camp over the past 10 years?
That's a great question, and I think we should give our audience a bit of a hint to help them out.
That's a good idea.
So, here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Ready? Here's your clue.
This week's winner will receive our plugged-in swag package, which includes a plugged-in mug, t-shirt, cap, and also a $50 prepaid Visa gift card.
Tweet us your answer by using the hashtag Kidney Contest.
Or you can send us a quick email at pluggedin@kidney.bc.ca.
Good luck!
Do you love shopping and saving money? Then the Bid and Give auction is for you. Register for the Bid and Give auction at kidney.bc.ca. You can shop, save, and support people living with kidney disease in your community, and you can take advantage of some great items. Bidding closes October 17th at 12 noon. Be sure to make your bids now. Time is running out. Thank you to all of our amazing volunteers and supporters for making this year's Kidney Walks, which took place September 25th and October 2nd, a huge success. Fundraising will remain open until December, so you still have a chance to take advantage of our Kidney Walk incentive prizes. And don't forget, the Kidney Walk in Prince George will take place October 23rd. Visit kidneywalkbc.ca to register. The Kidney Patient Experience is coming to Vancouver. The agenda includes a talk from a nephrologist and a patient, and the group will have lots of time to discuss challenges and issues and gain support. If you would like to join, we would love to have you there. So come join us for a 2-hour conversation in Vancouver. The Rare Kidney Disease Patient Journey will be held Saturday, October 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We would love to see you there. I'm Kayla Wallace reporting for Community Calendar on Plugged In.
And that's it for today's edition of Plugged In. I want to thank all of our guests who joined us today to help make it an informative and fun show.
But most of all, we wanted to thank you for joining us here at Plugged In. And hey, have you had a chance to follow the show? It's real simple. All you have to do is go on the YouTube channel, hit that red follow button. We look forward to having you on every month.
Tell us what you thought of today's episode on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, right?
Yes, definitely like and share. Or you can send us an email as well at pluggedin@kidney.bc.ca.
And don't forget to enter for your chance to win this episode's great prize on hashtag Kidney Contest.
Absolutely. And special thanks to our sponsor, Kidney Car. Also, don't forget, you could be a donor. Just register at kidney.bc.ca. Until then, please take care of yourself and stay plugged in.
Steve. Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve.
Steve! Make the call. Donate your vehicle to Kidney Car.
Sound speeding marker. 204.
1805.
Hi, and welcome to...
Who's taking my pen?
Okay, yeah. There it is on tape. We all know now. Okay.
My pen.
You're always taking my pen.
I know what you're talking about.
All right. I'm delighted to have in the joining... I'm going to start that again.
Okay,
I'm going to start that again.
Yes, I am. Happening.
Register at at something. Almost there.
Right here.
Delay the necessity of people.
And everybody do an interpretive dance right now to end the episode.
Okay. The cracks that goes this way.
Oh, the wall.
I see it there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, no voting.
Munching over.
Before your time.